Hey, this is the birthday coach, Jeremy Ryan, saying you were born for more. You deserve more love, happiness, and success. I hope you do that with the secrets of astrology. And this is the 7th of September, love karma. Little love sign there for everyone that was born on the 7th of September. So if you're a Virgo born on the 7th of September, or you love someone who is, this video's for you. Now, right off the bat, people that are born on the 7th of September are some of the hardest workers. Hard. If I was a boss, I hire anyone born on the 7th of September. Why? Because they're practical, they're reliable, they're dependable, they're solid people, they're sound, they're secure. These are just all the traits that you want someone to have if you're hiring them to work. And so these are true workhorses of the zodiac. But that doesn't mean, that solidness that we see on the outside, that doesn't mean that translates on the inside. Because a lot of September 7th people are quite restless in nature. So even though you're willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done, on the inside, you are dreaming of that vacation. You are dreaming of a life of luxury and having more fun and being more spontaneous. Although you may be in a situation right now where you're not getting to enjoy that part of luxurious living, you're working towards it, you're desiring it, you're wanting it, and you will do everything in your power to give your family and your friends the best life you can, and you want to secure that. You want to make your life successful and secure, so you will work the steps that are needed to see that happens. But this is the love karma, not necessarily the work karma. And in the love karma, we do see that restlessness never quite stops. There's always this this need inside of you to constantly be deciding, is this the person that I want, or should I have another person? We see a lot of times people born with the 7th of September have one devastating marriage or one great early heartbreak, something that was real early in their formative years, early 20s, or maybe even teenage years, that hurt them so deeply that they shut down from ever opening up on such a level that lets someone in too close that can hurt them that way again. And so if you're born on the 7th of September, I don't want your past pain to keep you from opening up your heart in a way that can create a deep intimacy with your partner. I want you to have that high ideal of love that you really believe. Because outside of being practical, hardworking, dependable, loyal, and in work and towards your family and friends, and this is what you seem to be to everyone else, on the inside, you truly are a romantic when it comes to love. You truly do have idealism, high ideas about love, about marriage. And so, when you do get hurt, it can be devastating because you really believe in soulmates and really believe in the ride or die. I got your back. I'm here for life. And so, these high ideas often trip you up once you're in a relationship, because many people can't sustain the kind of intensity that you desire in your love life. And so what happens is we see you beginning to be fearful that the person you're with can never meet the level of love that you need to experience. That's why there's that boredom. Really what the boredom comes from is fear that one person can't make your life exciting enough or give you enough love to keep you fulfilled, keep you lifted up, keep your love bucket high. And so if I date around and you're always doing those beginning stages, the beginning stages of love is easy. Butterflies, roses, kisses, it's all kind of excitement. And so that excitement is like an adrenaline that you're running on, and it feels good. But love, those ideas of love, like, oh, I fall in love, it's so good. That adrenaline cannot last forever. That intensity can't last forever. And that may upset you. You may want to shut the video off now and think, no, I want the fairy tale. I want the damsel in distress being rescued, and the prince and the princess, and all these things, happily ever after. Because these things are in your spirit. You really do want a love that heals everybody. A September 7th person knows that love is ultimately all that really matters. That's why we work so hard, because we love our families. That's why we work so hard, because we love the people we care about. We want to help take care of them and take care of ourselves and secure our future. But this love, because you have such a degree of high ideas about love, a lot of times puts you into codependent relationships. It puts you into relationships where you're having to rescue somebody. You're having to save somebody. So this is either dating drug addicts, dating alcoholics, dating people that got deep emotional scars, wounds, people that can't hold a job, and you're having to rescue them because you love feeling needed. You being needed makes you feel loved because you're a natural worker. You're a natural hard worker in the real world. Why wouldn't you work hard for your partner? Why wouldn't you work hard for your love? It goes back to those high ideas, those fantasies of, I will rescue, I will martyr myself, I'll do whatever it takes because I believe in us. And that sounds all good, but it really isn't healthy and it's not sustainable. And you shouldn't have to be a martyr. You shouldn't have to destroy, set yourself on fire to make your partner feel warm. And so, we look at all these things that can make it difficult to be born on the 7th of September when it comes to relationships. Not impossible, but difficult. So let me backtrack so I can make it real clear. Some of the karmas that you deal with is boredom. You get bored easy, so you're kind of dating a lot of people, but you're not really building long-term success. A lot of times the reason why you're not building long-term success is the second reason. The second reason is you're letting past pain keep you from being open in the present or the future. So most September 7th either maybe have a devastating divorce or an early in their love life, they've had a terrible heartbreak, and therefore they shut down subconsciously by saying, I'll date around, I'll be in relationships, but I'll never be so vulnerable again to be hurt and devastated like I was last time. Now, there is a reason why you were hurt so bad for a lot of you born on the 7th of September. For those that believe in karma, there is a karmic debt that has to be paid by being born on September 7th. And that debt usually is paid off in one bad relationship where someone was very careless with your feelings. Whether they betrayed you, whether they just didn't nourish you with your love language. This is happening because in the past life, you loved your freedom so much that you were careless with your decisions. You didn't really care about the decisions you were making, how it was affecting your wife, your husband, how it was affecting your significant other. And so it did cause a lot of pain in your partner's life. So in this lifetime, you signed up to say, I want to also, now it's my turn to feel what it's like to have a husband or wife or a partner or somebody neglect me in a way, make decisions in a way, do things in their life so carelessly that they don't realize how their choices affect me and hurt me and damage me. Now, that's not to say that all September 7th are damaged or hurt or going to be hurt. But because I am an astrologer and because this stuff is so accurate, that enough of you need to hear this if you're a September 7th person, that you may be paying off a bad karma from the past in a relationship. But don't allow that to make you scared from doing any relationship. Don't let that stop you from necessarily getting involved with someone or getting married. Well, if you're saying, I haven't had a divorce yet, Chair, and I don't want one, well, then I would say to you, just make sure that you're very careful with your your decisions, what you're doing when you're with that person, because it's going to be the consideration factor that really highlights the length of the relationship and either supports the love or it erodes it. So it's really, once again, being really considerate. Is this the considerate thing to do? Am I taking time to consider what my partner would feel with me saying this, doing this, instead of just doing it because I spontaneously want to do it? So even though September 7th are very practical, remember, there's that spontaneity on the inside that people don't see. And so that's one of the reasons why they don't have always a long relationship, because you do like variety, but the variety is actually coming from a place of fear. And the fear is that no one can love you as much as you need to be loved. And so that's why there's a variety. That's why there's this constantly falling in love, because it's an adrenaline rush. and you feel high on life. You know, when you first meet someone and you first get the goosebumps and the butterflies and the kisses and you start daydreaming that this is the one, this is the soulmate. It's such a rush that it easily fills that bucket of love. But when the rush starts dying down, your love bucket starts getting depleted, and there's that fear that if you stood with someone too long, that the best is over with. After a few months or a few years, they've given you the best and there's no more left for you. So you subconsciously find a new person because it brings a fresh new rush. And so I'm wanting, and not that that's necessarily wrong, but this is the love karma. I'm wanting to help you lengthen your relationships and strengthen your relationships. Then you need to realize, what do I do when I'm starting to feel bored? What am I doing when I start to not have that rush in love? Well, what you can do is not necessarily go to another partner, but create more creative things, tap into your creativity, tap into the creativity of music, drama, creating businesses, writing, do creative things, because creativity is a way of getting out all that fear and all that worry. A lot of worry and fear is energy trapped in the mind. And so this is another karma. One of the things that are hard for you in relationships is that in your mind, the subconscious mind, is there's a great deal of shutting yourself off emotionally because you fear that no one else will really love you as deeply as you can love. So I'm going to start shutting myself off emotionally. If you shut yourself off emotionally because of a past relationship that went bad, or fear that no one can really love you, then you're not going to have love. You can have relationships, you can have sex, you can have dating, but true bonding, true connecting, true intimacy, that's got to come by opening your heart, which is not always easy for the 7th of September to do, because even though they have high ideas of love, there's definitely more logic going on. So you think, you like to think about love. So you like to strategize about love. You like to daydream about love. But it's always in the mental realm, not necessarily feeling things and the uncomfortableness of it in your heart. So it's strategizing. You try to strategize love. And what that does to the relationship is that when you do have problems, instead of talking about the problems from an emotional standpoint, you're trying to fix your partner, trying to fix the problem, because logically, let's fix it. Let's fix the thing. And relationships are not logical. Relationships cannot be fixed by strategy. Now, yes, there are things that a psychiatrist can tell you, a psychologist can tell you. There are definitely tools that you can use. But for you on your own to strategize on how to make the relationship better without just actually talking to your partner and opening up about your fears and sharing how you're feeling and actually feeling it, instead of just thinking about it and trying to avoid it with your strategies, you feel uncomfortable. Let me not feel that uncomfortableness. Let me strategize how to get out of it, which is normal. None of us want to feel pain. But if you're not allowing yourself to feel pain, allowing yourself to feel fear, allowing yourself to feel it, not think it, you think it already. I'm saying allow yourself to feel it so you can stop thinking about it, so you can feel it, then reveal it. Feel it, reveal it to your partner. I'm scared about this. I feel this, I feel that. And that openness, that honesty creates a bonding. It creates a connection. But if you keep the fears all in your head, then what's going to happen is you're going to shut down emotionally. You're not going to feel emotionally. You're going to shut down because the fear is making you feel pain. You don't want to feel pain. So you shut down emotionally. You shut down from feeling anything. That does not make your partner feel love. That doesn't even make you feel love. And what happens after a while, you're like, this isn't worth it, because most people born on the 7th of September are very handsome and beautiful people. So it's and charming. So it's easy for you to find another relationship. So when you shut down emotionally, your relationship that you're in is dying, but you still want to have love. So let's just get out of that and find someone else. And someone else is new, is giving you all this extra new energy that's normal for everybody, and it feels better than the old energy of the partner you're with, so you jump ship. But the problem is you're with that new person and you repeat the cycle after a while because you're not allowing yourself to really open up about your feelings. You're going to start shutting down on this new person, and then once again, you're going to find another person. That's the cycle, how it just keeps getting repeated. Go to a new person, I feel great, but then I start feeling fear. I feel fear, I shut down emotionally. Because I shut down emotionally, the relationship feels like it's over. I find a new person so I can feel better emotions instead of dealing with my fear. So I know that was a lot there. Rewind it and listen to it over and over again about that little cycle that you get into. So some of the things that hurt you, I said, were one, you like to be in many different relationships because you're afraid that you're not going to get enough from one person. And when it gets tough, it's easier to create something new than be honest about our feelings and deal with it in an open way, emotionally, not logically, emotionally with our partner. Number two, you're paying off bad karma for how you treated someone in the past. So it's very well in an early relationship, you might have a bad might have one. I'm not saying you all have to have one, but a number of you will, and you're allowing that bad experience to stop you from trying in the future. Don't shut down emotionally because of a divorce or a cheater or anything. Love is important. In fact, love is everything. That's why people don't understand is the 7th of September, some of the most romantic people in the world. Some of the most greatest lovers in the world are September 7th. They have such high ideas of love. But what's interesting is even though sometimes you shut down emotionally, mentally you still have high fantasies, the fairy tales, forever happily forever after, and the Save the Damsel in Distress, and the prince kissed the frog and he becomes a prince. And so princess kissed the frog and becomes a prince. What I'm saying is there's these high romantic ideas that you believe. You really want that soulmate. You really do want that deep connection. You really do want true love. But your ideas are so high, and that desire to have love is so high idealistic that it almost puts you in codependent relationships where you're picking out partners that are clearly damaged, whether they're drug addicts, alcoholics, they haven't ever grown up from the Peter Pan syndrome, meaning they can't financially support themselves. There's constantly you rescuing your partner. Why? Because you're stable, you're secure, you're a hard worker, you'll put in the work. And so you like to feel needed. Part of you feels like love is the only thing you need. All this hard work after a while is tiring. All this hard work after a while is rough. And you're like, love is the only thing I need. Love is everything. And you're right. Love is everything. Love is everything. But when you place so much this idea that if I just find the right partner, if I just find in love, then everything will be okay. Well, it puts you into two categories. The first category I said is finding partners that are codependent. They're beneath you. Why would you do that if you're looking for the ideal partner? Because you also like to be needed. You feel like you idealize love so much. You feel that love can heal, that your love is healing. So when you are a magnet to those that are damaged, and you see them responding to your love, and it looks like they're having a positive impact on their life, it makes you feel love because they need you. Because they need you, it makes you feel love. Therefore, you think this is the relationship that's true. This is your soulmate. But many times it's just a codependent relationship because your ego is being fed by their need to have you. And someone needing you is not necessarily them loving you. Hear that again. Someone needing you is not necessarily them loving you. And in fact, it's not loving to yourself if you're clearly choosing unhealthy people. Now, this is nothing against unhealthy people. There's nothing against drug addicts or alcoholics or people that, have a hard time financially. But this is the love karma. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to empower you. And I'm trying to tell you that you need to make sure that you're being careful, that you're not picking relationships that are doomed to fail just because they're making you feel good in the moment that you're helping somebody. And I appreciate the fact that you want to help somebody. I appreciate the fact that you believe love is everything. But there's plenty of songs that tell you, sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes you need more than love. And so for a long-term relationship to be stable, I'm trying to tell you right now, if you're in the dating and you're able to date, be a little bit more selective, that you're not picking people that are clearly damaged just because you feel like you can rescue them and save them because you're used to working so hard. I don't want you to have to work that hard in your relationship. I don't want you to have, it may feel like, if I'm working that hard to save our relationship, it means I really love them. No, that's fantasies. That's that idealistic idea of love that doesn't meet reality. That whole idea that my love can make this person better and it's everyone else may see that they're not right for me, but I'm going to believe that they're right for me no matter what. And because I love them no matter what, it's going to be okay. That isn't reality. It may not sound romantic right now. It may sound harsh right now, but I want you to be able to be open to someone that can love you, that can give back to you, that can meet you halfway, where you can open yourself up and be vulnerable because they're not so damaged that they can't also listen to your stuff and be there for you too. Someone's damaged and you're always the one to have to be the strong one. That's not a relationship. You're a parent. And parent and child relationships don't work long-term in marriage. They can, maybe, but it's not a happy marriage. It's not a healthy marriage. They're functioning in their dysfunction. And I would like you, September 7th, to have a healthy, happy marriage, or however you define your committed relationship, by realizing that you got to be more practical about who you're picking in love and practical about what love can and can't do. Yes, love can heal. Yes, love forgives. Love is kind and patient and true. But give yourself a breather and realize that besides all the magical and mystical and powerful stuff of love, love is also very much human. It's a human emotion, and it needs a little bit more practicalness to it, which is funny. You're one of the most practical, logical people, I said, when it comes to work, even trying to fix your relationships. But when it comes to also love in the heart, your ideas of it is so much less practical and more movie-like. This is what I want. And the movies don't meet reality. And then you're putting too much pressure on the partner you got now because they're not going to be able to live up to your ideas. So I need you to take a breath and relax your expectations a little bit. Your relationships will be a lot more loving and more fulfilling if you let up a little bit about how much you think that the person who loves you is supposed to change your life. If you could just relax and breathe a little bit and not expect so much out of your love life, it can blossom more. It can grow more instead of all of this energy of what you expect it to be, instead of what it just is. Allow it to be what it is and not necessarily feel cheated because it's not meeting these high fantasies. Your high fantasies is cheating you out of being in a real relationship. Yes, sometimes the idea is better than the reality, but the idea is never going to give you anything you can look back on or create a future with. And we do know you want to create a future that's secure and stable and strong. So allow that to be in your marriage. Allow that to be in your dating life. It's okay to be a little bit more relaxed in your inner thoughts about how romantic a marriage or relationship should be. And that doesn't mean I'm saying don't have any romance or don't have any love or any excitement. But I am saying part of your karma is learning to be a little more practical about what your husband, wife can't do in love and what love itself is going to do for you. Man, this is already a close to 25-minute video. So let's go over the 3 things I want you to do. 1, when you're bored, don't jump ship. Just find out something else to do creatively to give your life juice instead of just cheating on your partner. And also with that, if you're bored, a lot of times there's a fear factor involved that you're not getting enough love. Deal with the inner voice of fear. Deal with that fear. Tell that fear, hey, just because you're in my mind doesn't mean that's the reality. So deal with your fear about not being in love. That was 1. When you're bored, don't give in to fear that you're not being in love. 2, make sure that you're being considerate to your partner. Make sure that you're not also shutting down because of a past love failure. You got to keep open. You got to keep emotionally open. Don't shut down emotionally. And 3, make sure that you're not having such high ideas in your fantasy mind that you're being, how should I say this? You're not being fair to the reality. So don't get so caught up in the fantasy that you're cheating any chance of the reality of growing. And with that, when you're in the fantasy, don't just pick people that you can try to save because it makes you feel good. Pick people that are also healthy, and your love can do things besides just, being a martyr. All right, this is Jeremy Ryden. If you would like to get coaching on your love life, or you would like to get coaching on your career life, I do phone calls. These are astrology life coaching sessions. We'll talk on the phone one-on-one, half an hour, whatever package you want, go to thebirthdaycoach.com. Thebirthdaycoach.com. You can have a phenomenal love life September 7th. I really hope that you do, and I hope to see you in the future in more videos.